everybody, welcome back to Manga Goblin. I'm Trix and this is my latest video celebrating 114 followers on Twitter. I asked on Twitter what the celebration should be and someone suggested what my favourite miniature was in Warhammer. So welcome to the video. Okay, so a long time ago, we're talking at least 20 years ago now, there was an army book called Dogs of War, and in Dogs of War there was a race called Hobgoblins. There was a very small unit called Oglacan's Wolf Boys, and later on in White Dwarf they released rules for a Hobgoblin mercenary general called Grazak Khan. Grazak Khan was very unique because he had a special bigger wolf and he had a special scimitar, and he was kicked out. Basically, he was an exile from the Hobgoblin clans in the steppes, which were like very based on the Mongolian hordes with instead of lots of horses, they had lots of wolves, but they never were a proper army. There was only ever a few units in Chaos Dwarf book. It was a collection of articles from White Dwarf. It was never really a proper army book, the Chaos Dwarf book. It was White Dwarf Presents Chaos Dwarfs, and they had some units in that book. They had Wolf Riders, they had Archers, they had two heroes. They basically had a sub-boss hero and then a named character hero. Then they had a unit called Sneaky Gits, which were basically, they had special rules where if you got in the flank of an enemy you could do extra attacks or extra damage. But that was all that was released for the Hobgoblins until the Dogs of War update, which gave them lances instead of hand axes, and spears rather than hand axes, and shields. They could also take bows. The mercenary unit could. It was a really cool unit, and the general was really cool, and it was just, they didn't do anything like it since. And a few editions later, I think it was 8th, they released a goblin unit, not a hobgoblin, a normal goblin called Sneaky Skulkers, and basically they were the same, except they would hide inside a goblin unit and then jump out and stab people. So there we go. My favourite model of all time is Gazak Khan, Terror of the East, and here he is, his picture of him. So yeah, okay. Well, that was a very short video, but it was fun to do. I had a conversation with someone on Twitter recently, and they were saying that they didn't quite understand how important the pencil video was. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down the various tools that people use for traditional manga and anime, and I'm going to go through them and why they're important, and why traditional art is still a big thing in Japan, and why traditional art making is still a big thing in the anime industry, and the loss of a tool is pretty bad for those people who still use it. Okay, so once again, thank you very much for everyone for watching. Have a nice time, and bye bye.